from Keystroke, and we're going to be covering today Quoting for ACT. Quoting for ACT is a product that we developed early last year, and we really haven't pushed it terribly hard in context with some of our other more marquee products. But this is, make no mistake, an incredibly slick and inexpensive product that is, you're going to see is a terrific value to customers. And one of the first things I want to say is it works both in the Windows client and the web client. For today's purposes, we're only going to be focusing on the Windows client, but there really isn't a whole lot of other quoting solutions that work within the web client. And when I say within, I don't mean interfacing with it, I mean totally within. And that's really what I want to be talking about, because this product operates completely inside of ACT. So let's just kind of step back and go through the system requirements for this. In order for this to work, in order for you to even install it, you're going to need either Tables for ACT or you're going to need ACT Premium Plus, one of those two. This product leverages the custom tables technology in Tables for ACT and Premium Plus. If you've got other products, it's not going to work, okay? Because it's got specific functions relating to importing and presentations that only are available within that specific custom table technologies, okay? So first thing is the setup. So we go up to, at the wrong page here. Just type in quoting. See here. Here is the link. We've just recently updated this, and we actually updated this on a couple of levels because we wanted to make sure, since we developed this beginning of last year, we wanted to make sure that it's supporting the latest version of .NET and that it supports our latest licensing system. So here is the link that you can get. Try before you buy. Even though it does say there is no trial, there is a trial available. I'll update that as well. So that is a 2-week trial. So when you go to install it, you download it. It's going to be a regular installation process. Obviously, you're not going to have ACT installed because it's going to be loading DLLs into the plugin folder. But when you're done and you relaunch ACT, you're going to see this, okay? Now, the first thing is you cannot use the product until you click on Setup Supporting for ACT and you import in the product tables, okay? Because right now, if you try to use it, there will not be any, there won't be a quote table and there won't be a product table. So literally, it will be trying to interface with nothing, okay? So you've got to go through this process. Now, this screen that you're seeing is actually part of Tables for ACT or ACT Premium Plus. So then you just walk through the process, you select both, it will import in both of them, and then once that's done, you're ready to go. And when you're done, you're going to see these two products, or these two custom table entries here with the little # sign, okay? So how do I access it? It basically works completely within the opportunity section. So let's go to, I've created this as an opportunity, but I'm going to go to list view and I'm going to select anyone else. Okay, so here's one for $12,000. This is a database I created this morning, so I haven't really drilled down on any of them, but I'm going to open this up. Okay, and I'm going to check here. Okay, I've got one system or one product in here. Now, as you can guess, there's nothing special here. Tech One systems, standard stuff, cost, price, change the quantity here, okay? And now your extended price is larger, okay? All pretty standard stuff, okay? Exactly as you would create an opportunity. So when you get an opportunity, you're going to go through the basics, add in the products, add any other details, including process, stage, things like that, exactly as you would within ACT without any quoting system. Except in this case, you've got Quoting for ACT. So once you've created this opportunity completely within ACT, now you can convert it to a quote. And you'll see up here, you've got Quoting for ACT. Watch what happens. You click on here, and suddenly you've got a quoting interface, okay? So let's go through some of the settings that we can see here. So it's put in the quantity, it's pulled that directly from the product details. It's item description, item number, unit cost. Obviously the cost is not going to be surfaced in the quote, okay? Unit price, adjusted price, allowing for any discounts, tax included, apply foreign exchange, okay? Obviously, as a Canadian company, we want to make sure that if we're quoting other Canadians on products that have American costing, we want to make sure that we've got that flexibility as well, okay? And not a whole lot of other quoting products provide that, but obviously as a Canadian company, this is an issue we're sensitive to, okay? Now let's take a look at what it's pulled in. So it's pulled in the opportunity name, it's pulled in the contact name, the email information, all the other information that you would expect. Obviously, anytime that you create a quote, you're going to need a valid too. You can't create an open quote that's good forever. Prices change, and obviously you don't want to have open-ended quotes out there, okay? And then here is the quote information that is tallied from all of this. So here's the product total. Here's where you can add in shipping, okay? So if you want to add in any kind of shipping amount, you can do it here. Now, you'll notice that foreign exchange is grayed out. However, if you want to enable that, you can put in 30% foreign exchange, okay? You actually have to use the dialer. Okay, do a quick calculation, everything is there. Now you can also see the tax amount, okay? The total amount, everything is calculated here. Now let's take a look over here. We want to make sure that when we're quoting, that we have the ability to actually ask what is the deposit required, because when we're quoting, we may not always need 100% down. In fact, we're seldom going to need 100% down. So we want to put in, again, using the dialer. Okay, see, it calculates the deposit required exactly. Okay, that's why the dialer is required. Okay, so it's calculated that, and all of this is going to be surfaced here. Now, you'll see here, this particular build we customized for a Quebec customer, so it's got a little bit of bilingual translations in here. Obviously, the main version will not, okay? And then this is pulling in the ship to information. Now, we need to have our own information embedded in here for better customization. So on a one-time basis, the first time that you set this up, you're going to click on Document Settings, and it's going to surface this, okay? So I've put in this particular logo, okay? And I've put in the default currency. I put in what will be the quote prefix. So everything's going to calculate from this point forward. So Q_100, the next one's going to be Q_1001, okay? I put in our tax number because a lot of countries, a lot of districts require you to surface your tax number. You can put in a footer, okay, some common information. We take the win out of a win-win relationship. Disclaimer, if you want this at the bottom, we promise never to give you your money back. And then when you email it, you can set up a default content. Okay, so every time that you click on the email, which is up here, this information, because a lot of the times you're saying the exact same thing. So why type it in over and over again? So thank you for your interest in our products. I prepared a quote for you based on your request and attached herewith as a PDF. Thanks. And I've put KQ. Now, I put my own initials here because anything that I put in here, even if I've got 10 people accessing the same database on a network share, this is stored locally under your app data settings. So this information will not populate on any other user settings, even if every single user has this program installed. Okay, so you can have your own customized settings for here. You can also select the font. Okay, for the title, you can select the font for the body of the quote. You can select the background colors here and the font background colors, everything. Okay, so we've tried to put in as much as possible. And then for tax settings, here you could put in multiple different taxes. Okay, so that's basically the settings for now. Now we click on this. Now, as you can see, we can also put in quote for internal usage. Now, what does this mean? Internal usage, basically, let's say that I was working on a project with Lubs, okay? And Lubs wanted to know what the total cost of the project to not only the end user, but also to us as well. So when I click on this, then the cost information is going to be presented to him as well. Obviously, that's not something we're going to present to a customer, but this is something that we've got that we can enable for internal use, okay? Send emails after saving PDF. basically what that means is the moment that we close this, it's going to queue up a PDF and send it out via email. So we won't have to click send as PDF. We can do it all in one action. And the grid lines is fairly evident as well. But let's see what this actually looks like, okay? So let's click on print the PDF. Okay, so up comes a fairly professional looking quote that includes all the sold to, and as I said before, you're not going to have translated bilingual information on your template, okay? But see here, all of this information, you've got your, and I actually misspoke. I said it was 1001, but no, it's actually going to count down from there. So it's _100 and then _0001. Issue date, expiry date. So now you've got actually legal control over how long this quote is valid for. And then you've got your line items. You've got your quote, you've got your item description, your unit price, and your total price. Now, because I enabled that checkbox showing foreign exchange, this was surfaced as well, okay? So it's showing the, I think actually, I did not, you know what, let's go back here. And let's go quoting for act. I said apply foreign exchange. So because I didn't have that, I only, in this case, showed the, okay. Okay, so now, okay, let's save, and let's go back. Okay, obviously I just found a glitch. So it is not, okay, that is, just put there, and then we'll set the foreign exchange at, say 20. Okay, so I'll report that glitch. Always nice. You know it's going to come out during a demo. Okay, so we got show foreign exchange and print the PDF. Okay, so now we've got the rate and we've got the foreign exchange amount. Okay, we've got the HST and we've got the tax amount and the total cost of the quote. At the bottom, you're going to see the amount of the deposit required. Okay, you're going to see the tax number, and you're going to see the information where they can print, sign, date, and then you've got your little slogan at the bottom. Okay, now, this whole process did not take anything more than clicking on this. So you've completed an opportunity and it's sent it out. Okay, so again, the deposit. Okay, and I will report to Austin that some of these settings are not getting saved. Okay, and then when we go to, okay, so we go to print. Okay, and we go down to the deposit. You can see the deposit is now reflecting half. Okay, now let's see what happens when we click on email. You can see your information automatically comes in here. You can enter in CC information, BC information, and it's ready to go, okay? Now, this is using our own internal QMail system. When you click on this, okay, it actually brings it over into Outlook, okay? So this will get surfaced exactly as you like. We need that because that particular feature will then, I think it works both in Outlook, or sorry, in web and Windows that way. And I believe it also plays a role in the recording of histories. Okay, so now I'll talk to Austin about the formatting getting lost here too. Okay, but now this is ready to go and you've got your quote. Now let's just double check. And as we can see, everything is there. Okay. Now I'm going to pause for a moment and open it up for questions. Okay. So what questions do we have at this point?
Ken, the tax amount percentage, where is that set? Or is that set automatically?
Document here, tax settings, 13.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And those settings stick. Okay. So if you're going to a different, let's say you're quoting to a someone that's in the United States, then you're going to need to suppress that. Okay. Actually, I'm going to make a note that that is a feature that we should probably build into apply tax or not apply tax.
Ken?
Checkbox for applying tax. Yes, Kevin.
What if you have a lot of different tax rates?
In most cases, you're going to know, what the tax rate is for the people that you're quoting, and then you're just going to have to go in here and make the adjustment. Okay, because this is a default adjustment. But what I'm hearing you say is that maybe we should have a tax override.
Go back to where you were. The screen is showing the tax rate.
Okay. So here's your.
I think you have multiple lines of different tax rates, like a different tax.
Yeah, in Canada, we sometimes have to quote GST and PST. Harmonized sales tax is both of them together, but not all provinces participate in that. So in some cases, like if I was in Alberta and I was quoting an Alberta deal, I would have to quote both GST and PST. So in this case, you would have to have the ability to support multiple tax settings.
Yeah.
Okay. But I do like the idea of perhaps having a tax override here. Okay, that's on a document by document basis.
Now, Ken.
Okay.
One more thing, Ken.
Yes.
Here's a deposit required. Deposit required.
What's that?
Deposit required is a percentage.
Yeah. Yes.
Normally, I just require a deposit on the software, not the labor. Is there any way to break it apart that way?
To control the deposit required, I think what might be easier is to have a deposit override. I don't want to increase the complexity, so it can be a percentage, but I think if we had a checkbox here, then we can just enter in what the amount is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Blair.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got to take other questions. Blair, do you have any questions? Jean, John.
I got one.
Okay.
Hey, on that same screen over on the right under contact name, I'm hoping the answer is yes, but if you have multiple people associated with this opportunity, you get to pick the person, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay.
And the product definitions come straight out of the opportunities, right?
Exactly. So let's go back to, let's see what we have created here. So right now we've created an opportunity, but we know we've also created a quote and product table. So let's go to quote, and now you can see the two. Who's ever got me on speaker, can they mute themselves, please? Okay, so now I can open this up, and now you can actually see the raw table data. Okay, so you can see the total amount, you can see the tax rate, the foreign exchange, you can see the shipping cost, the valid to, and you can see the subtotal, you can see the nested product amounts. Okay, and then when you click over here, you can see the contact links and the opportunity links. Okay, now the elegant thing about this, guys, is it takes nothing to learn it. QuoteWorks is a far superior product. There's no question, has dramatically more flexibility, but it is also incredibly tougher to learn, okay? Just because there are so many more features. A lot of people just need to be able to quote widgets, and a lot of people, especially ACT users, enjoy ACT because it's easy to learn. And one of the bigger things I've run into when I broach the subject of a quoting system is we're all really used to working with spreadsheets, okay? The problem with the spreadsheets is you're managing them outside of ACT. They're not connected to the opportunity. They're not connected to the contact. There's no history recording. There's no nothing, okay? So let's go back to the opportunity, okay? We can see the history here has gone out. We can see the attachment. Everything is recorded properly. This cannot be done on a spreadsheet. Okay, so all the kind of accountability that you're expecting, you can see the 3 updates here as well. All the kinds of accountability that you're expecting, you're going to get by working strictly within ACT. Okay. Now, I saw that unfortunately James just left. James, are you there?
James Young, you mean? Or James Pollock?
Yes, James Young. Perfect.
So
James Young
just arrived, actually.
Good. So I've got some good news for you. One of the things that James has been one of the more eager people trying to sell this, but one of the frustrations he's expressed is the inability to have multiple templates. I'm happy to report that one of the feature additions that we're providing SwiftPage, hopefully by 21.1, okay, which is aimed for April, will be the ability to basically compile a lot of table information into one document. That will allow Awesome to build support for multiple templates in here. Okay, so if you've got different templates for different products, different services, like us, for instance, sometimes we may be quoting something unrelated to ACT, could be a services quote, whichever. Or in cases where James has pointed out where they'll have different departments, possibly different logos, different things like that, and they'll want to have different information, different disclaimers, okay? They can do that with the next iteration that we have, and we expect to have that in March sometime.
Does it also, sorry, I missed the first part, is it also going to include a drop down for the currency? Because that's the other piece that people were asking about, is being able to have a drop down to choose the currency that it provides.
Drop down for currency.
So up at the top it says US dollar, and then you have to overwrite it manually if they had a drop down for the chosen currencies, kind of like the quote works.
Actually, yeah, so it's here, that's the default currency here, but I'll put that in on the feature request because we're going to have to substantially rewrite this, okay, to support the new templates and such. So that's why I've got a checkbox for applying tax, tax override, deposit override, and now I've got drop down for currency. Perfect. And if you guys think of any other features that we can add to this, then great. Now, please email me afterwards. Now, here's the best part. Take a look at the price. One-time cost of $99.95, okay? You're still going to have your tables cost, your premium plus and all of that, but one-time cost. So imagine people that are struggling with, God help them, the quote template within ACT that's as fragile as a house of cards, okay? You try to edit it, do anything with it, and it ends up breaking. Plus, there's nothing you can do to make it look pretty, okay? They can get, and we'll just kind of go through the different pictures here. Okay, so you've got the console here. You can show this to all of your customers here. This is what the quote will look like. Okay, and this is pulling all the information right from a regular opportunity. Okay, and then the different quoting looks. Okay.
Ken?
So, yep.
Is this account based? So is it $99.95 regardless of users?
It's right now it's based on the activations.
Okay.
Okay. So you got to pay it on each installation. Okay. But as we're rewriting this, obviously this will be something I have to think of in context of a Citrix or terminal services environment. And
also for those that have multiple machines.
Yep.
Like one user desktop and a laptop.
So basically what I'm hearing is maybe perp by user. Is that what's the feedback of this group?
That would be helpful,
that would be good.
Yes.
Okay, so perp by user. Okay, I think we can build that in.
Let's build it in. Ken, sorry to interrupt. If you build it in with the exact same tolerance level as the ACT licensing, then it's a little easier because we can say it's available, but we'd have to figure out how they're going to do that from a user ID perspective.
Okay. Okay, I'll bring this up with Austin. I'm not sure I appreciate all of the implications of going one direction or another, but a few of our products, what I like is that it's also consistent with the tables licensing, okay, which is per user. Okay, so that there would be some argument that they should be aligned that way. Okay.
So when the user is inactivated and another user is activated, is it by the user name like it is with ACT Mobile Messenger? It's tied directly to a specific profile of a user,
It would be,
Or is it just,
you know, the way that we're looking at it is you're going to enter in the license and it will be applied to the user and the database.
one database, one user?
Yeah. Well, if we go by user, guys, that's the price you're going to pay. So keep that in mind. If you go by user, then you won't be able to have it for multiple databases. If you go by activation, then you can have as many users. I'm going to have to mute everyone. Okay. You can have as many users as you like and as many databases as you like. Okay. I'm going to unmute everyone. Okay, we're coming towards the bottom of the hour. Okay, so basically, if you have activation licensing versus user licensing, okay, who's ever got me on speaker, please mute themselves. Okay, activation versus user license. If it's user license, you have to designate the user and the database. If it's activation license, then whatever you can get away with on that machine, you can use. Multiple databases, multiple users, whichever. So that's the part that we have to control. Yeah, well,
that way it is better.
Yeah, the only problem is that, you know, we run into Citrix environments where our licensing can get abused. So, you know, we might have 30 users that will pay $99.95 once. Okay, so, you know, obviously, but, you know, we do like to actually get paid fairly for this. The price is low. Again, who's ever got me on speaker, please take me off. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we need to have our licensing costs covered. We have no problem talking about, you know, tolerances based on per user, per activation. But if there's 30 users, we need 30 fees. Okay. So this is a perpetual license. It has been verified with V21. Obviously, this demo is on V21. It does work with Act for Web and Act for Windows, and you can download a trial. Okay, I believe it's a 2-week trial, and the one big prerequisite is Tables for Act or Act Premium Plus. Okay.
Can you add that right there on a bullet line for the specifications that says?
I'm actually going to be modifying this product because it's a trial period not available, and I'll modify the licensing when we determine what our strategy is, and I'll modify the prerequisites because right now there isn't a prerequisite. It kind of says here, okay, and we've got some different language down here, but I'm getting away from, you know, putting in all this trial user stuff. You have to have Tables or Premium Plus installed in advance. Okay, so if we just put a prerequisite line here, that should be clear.
So
okay.
Can you just go over one more time? If we're selling this in the United States, are we going to have a separate template, or are we?
So at present, you don't have to worry about the templates because right now you can actually disable the foreign exchange line. Okay, so if you clear this and this isn't applied, foreign exchange is not even going to appear on the quote.
Okay.
See here? No foreign exchange. Okay, so for those kinds, any kind of line items or tax or shipping or anything like that, you know, you can control what's included and what's not included. Okay, so to keep your quote as simple as possible. But I think you guys will agree that this is a pretty easy to learn program. Okay, like when you just need to prepare a quote and you're trying to roll quoting into a new user environment or an environment that not terribly sophisticated, if this could be either an entry-level quoting system or something that people selling doors or windows or widgets can use indefinitely. And all the normal rules apply, and keep emphasizing that. It works completely within Act for Web, completely within Act for Windows, and all the history recording and accountability and attaching to you know, the documents, everything. Okay, and you'll notice every single time that I'm generating a quote, it's attaching it. Okay, so you're going to get different iterations as well. So if the quote changes over time, different customer requests, each one of these will be saved. Okay, So we're at the bottom of the hour now. I only wanted to keep you guys for 30 minutes. If you guys have any additional questions, please let me know. This webinar is recorded, so I'll send around the link afterwards, and I'll drop it into the support, sales, and general and KPP channels. Okay? Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great afternoon.